Ukraine is rejecting a suggestion from French President Emmanuel Macron that Russia must not be humiliated by the West. Macron called Putin's decision to invade a historic mistake, but cautioned both sides to allow a space for a diplomatic off-ramp. In a scathing response, Ukraine's foreign minister said, quote, calls to avoid humiliation of Russia can only humiliate France and every other country that would call for it. Since the start of the February invasion, Macron has regularly kept in touch with Putin by the phone in an effort to achieve a ceasefire, with no luck, by the way. Joining us now, the French ambassador to the United States, Philippe Etienne. And Mr. Ambassador, reading your tweets, I see that there is no concern on your part as it pertains to humiliating Putin or Russia. What do you make of the French president's comments and sort of sense of strategy here?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the question. For the time being, we have been all the time, and we will continue to do this, reaffirming our unwavering support for Ukraine, for its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and we are just continuing to increase our support to Ukraine and to increase the price which Russia has to pay for this brutal, unjustified invasion. For example, under the French presidency of the European Union has just adopted the sixth package of sanctions, including a ban on oil from Russia. At the same time, as President Macron has said a couple of times already, and many times, we must always think that at one point there will be the necessity to restart a political and diplomatic path to end this war, of course. And this is the reason why he said what he said, as you have reminded us.
But, Mr. Ambassador, quoting actually Anne Applebaum, an expert who appeared on our show yesterday, Vladimir Putin has not indicated any desire for any type of off-ramp. And unless the French president is seeing something differently in his conversations, what are you hearing? What
President Macron said also, and I think you have just recalled that, it is that he told the Russian president he has made a historical mistake for his country when he decided to invade Ukraine. And again, we have to make the price as high as possible and to increase the price still now while the invasion still is going on. And it is his responsibility to act to end this war and to come back to diplomacy. But on our side, it is also our responsibility to be on the one hand very firm and even to increase our support, including military support. France is increasing its military support to Ukraine, like other allies and partners. And on the other hand, to underline that we will be always ready when the time comes to come back to a diplomatic conversation, to a political solution, once also the Ukrainians deem it possible, because it is our responsibility. We are not interested in any escalation. We are not directly at war with Russia, and we want to continue to act on these different lines, including the fight against impunity. I recall that France has sent the biggest team of investigators to investigate on the crimes, the war crimes in Bucha, including on handling the global effects of this war started by Russia, including on food security worldwide. So we have to act on these different lines, and we will continue to do it, of course.
Good morning, Mr. Ambassador. Just to follow on Mika's question, President Macron said in an interview on Saturday, I'm convinced it is France's role to be a mediating power. As you say, you've offered support, military and otherwise, for Ukraine, but also President Macron has been this mediator. He's attempted to be anyway, traveling to Moscow and speaking to President Putin. So to follow on what Mika was asking you, is there something in those conversations that the president sees that the rest of us don't, that other diplomats around the world don't see, that Vladimir Putin may be willing to give give something? Because it doesn't appear so from the outside.
As you know, our president has traveled to Moscow and Kyiv before the war to try with other leaders to prevent this war, this completely unjustified war, which has been bringing so much sufferings to Ukraine and its people. He has kept always in coordination with the Ukrainian president. He has kept in contact with the Russian president, again, like some other leaders in the world. Again, it is the responsibility of the Russian leadership. But we have always made clear that we want to end this war defending Ukrainian people against this unjustified war and to rebuild. We will have to rebuild at a point something which brings security to all European nations. This is a reason why also we have said that we will take part to any agreement, any settlement, including bringing security guarantees. And we are always keeping in mind the goals we have here. And the goals I have restated in my previous answer. One of them is unwavering support to Ukraine. And the other one is when the conditions will be met. And your question is, are the conditions met or have we any indications that the conditions could be met? Again, it is not in our hands. We are doing what we have to do. We are doing what we have to do together with others. We chair the European Union Council. We do it in close coordination with the US.